This is Jason, and today I want to talk to you because I have finally seen the movie Dragon Ball Super Broly. Yes, I'm late on the bandwagon, but it was worth the wait. So I just wanted to tell you my thoughts on the movie, what I liked about it, what I didn't like, and whether or not you should get it. Spoiler alert, yes, you should get this movie. The first thing I loved about this movie is that it actually felt like a true movie. Most Dragon Ball movies just feel like extended episodes because they're only around like 42-45 minutes long. But this one was a true, proper movie. It had a beginning, middle, and end, which is a true story arc for any movie. So yeah, it felt like a true movie. The second thing I loved about this movie was Broly himself. I'm usually not a fan of retconning characters, but if you're going to retcon a character, do it the right way, and that's what they did with Broly. I never did like how in movie number 8, they just made him not like Goku just because Goku cried in the crib next to him. I always thought that was just kind of stupid and lame. But now you actually have a backstory to Broly, why he is the way he is. It has kind of a sins of the father motif to it. So I really dug that they didn't just make Broly out into a brute. They really gave him character and depth, and I love that. The third thing I loved was the music. Now, before I go any further, I just want to say I only watched the original Japanese version. I don't watch the American dub of Dragon Ball or any anime in general because personally I feel that the original Japanese is the most pure and authentic. Yes, I know, I'm a snob, sue me. So I hope that the music was the same for the English dub as it was in the original Japanese, because the music was awesome, especially the parts when they're fighting and they get to scream the names out during the music. And that goes into the next thing that I loved about this movie is the return of Gogeta. Gogeta is my favorite fused character. Unfortunately, he only lasted maybe 2 or 3 minutes in DBZ movie number 12, and he made a little bit of appearance in Dragon Ball GT, but now he is back and I hope he's here to stay and they use him more often. I think this movie is canon. Let me know in the comments below if it is canon or not. I'm not too sure, but I hope it is. That means he's here to stay. We get to see more appearances from Gogeta. And finally, the last thing I loved was like the animation and the fight choreography. With Goku and Vegeta and Broly being these super powered gods basically, you know, the fight scenes can be just really blurred out because they're super fast. You saw that in the later part of Dragon Ball Z, especially during the Majin Buu saga. But this one you actually was able to follow along, you felt the action, and it was awesome to see. So kudos to the animation, and it was so great. Now with all that being said, are there things that I didn't like about the movie? Of course there was, no movie is perfect, so let's just talk about those. The first thing I want to talk about is Bardock, because he did have a little bit of appearance in it. Now as much as I love how they retconned Broly to make him this character that you can sympathize with, I cannot stand how they made Bardock. They've made him into this Jor-El type figure trying to save the last son of planet Vegeta. I didn't like that. I really liked his original story about how, you know, he really didn't care about either of his sons until the very last moment, and the only reason he cared for him was to avenge the Saiyajin race. So yeah, I don't like how they did Bardock. The second gripe I have about this movie was, where was everybody? I mean, I understand that Goku and Vegeta are on bigger levels than the other fighters in the Dragon Ball universe, but come on. You sensed their power levels. Where were you? Where was Gohan and Goten and Trunks and Tenshinhan? I mean, you did see Piccolo, and yes, he was there to train Goku and Vegeta the fusion technique, but really? Just an appearance? That's all we want. You have these awesome secondary characters that you hardly use. Let's use them more. And the last thing I didn't like was Raditz. I didn't like how they made him very cartoony. I liked his character in the very beginning of Dragon Ball Z, and I understand why he wasn't used more than that, but yeah, he was just way too cartoony for me. But with all that being said, my final verdict, go get this film. Go watch it. Because I haven't been more excited about a Dragon Ball movie ever since back in 2000, and I got my fan sub version on VHS of Dragon Ball Z movie number 9, which is the BoJack movie. So yes, go get this. If you haven't gotten it already, I'll leave a link in the description below on where you can get your copy of Dragon Ball Super Broly. What an awesome time to be a Dragon Ball fan. I feel like a teenager again, just being excited because I love this series so much. Well, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button, and if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the bell notification to be notified when I upload new videos. I'll see you next time.